Robert's asked us about Richard Carr. I think it means Ryan Carr. Is he off the lead to be the assistant to Richard Agar? Well, Featherstone are apparently looking for a new coach, according to the paper.
He certainly is leaving Featherstone at the end of this season, and he's done a magnificent job. There is clearly, we're talking about two coaches that are getting the very best out of their players. Ian Watson's doing it at Salford. Ryan Carr is getting nothing but brilliant testimonials out of everybody that's played for him this year. I think the plan was, because he'd been moved in part-time to help out in the early part of the week at Leeds, that he was going to be made full-time assistant to Richard Agar. But his stock at the moment is so high that there are people in Australia looking at him, saying, he did a really good job of the Intrust Cup. He's only young. Do we want to bring him back and maybe offer him a job over there? So I think he's going to have choice, but Leeds is one of his options.
I mean, we were wrong about Ryan Carr, weren't we, at the start of the season?
No, I think we were right. What we questioned was not whether he was the right appointment, but should an overseas coach coach in the Championship? Should that be a proving ground for British coaches? And I think the compromise that we all came up with was that if you wanted to sign an overseas coach, you lost the ability to sign an overseas player.
Yeah.
So the coach counts on the quota.
But again, when you look at what Carr's done there at Featherstone, and when you listen to the players last night when they're getting interviewed, and when you've seen them play all year, he's a coach who lets his players express themselves, and this is why they get the results, because the players enjoy the environment, what he's presenting, you know, and that's not coaching. Again, that's man management and getting the best out of the players.
It's not only getting the best out of the players; they're a real disparate bunch. So you've got some kids that have come through the Featherstone system. You've got some loan players. You've got some dual reg. You've got scraping around to get the best.
That's all about man management, though, Phil. No, it's not coaching; it's man management.
It's signing your player from Australia, it's fitting everybody in and saying, "I'll make you a team." To do that in such a short period of time deserves massive plaudits. He's clearly a very, very good coach.
I mean, we will get on to the predictions later, but we have to talk about Featherstone Rovers beating Toulouse yesterday, because
beating them easily.
I was at Post Office Road yesterday afternoon for the women's game and speculated on commentary because they're talking about this is coming up later tonight, blah 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 blah. We're into the hilarious position now where we've got Toronto, massive city in Canada, playing off for a place in the Super League, apparently, and it seems that they're getting it now, doesn't it? Gary Carter said it in the papers.
I think it'll be announced this week.
And
in the Challenge Cup, which is good.
Yeah. We still probably all play over here, won't they? Going against.
Yeah.
Because they live in Manchester, we know. The city will tell us.
But the Challenge Cup's been moved forward, so more of the early rounds are almost like pre-season or early season, so they'll be here anyway. They'll be playing away from home, all of their games, but they would have done at that time of the year anyway.
So going against Toronto is a pit village without the pits in Featherstone Rovers. I was there yesterday, and as I said on the commentary of the Fev Wakefield women's game, they have got the best stadium of the three teams in that postcode area. Well, Wakefield and Castles anyway. Dewsbury probably both as well. Maybe even and Batley have not been there for a while. They've got a lovely facility, perfect for the size of club they are. Well-run club. Use dual reg in the right way. If I was Ashton Golding, by the way, I'd be waiting to see what happens on Sunday rather than signing for Huddersfield. Tell you, Adrian. It could happen, couldn't it? It could have little Featherstone Rovers having been cruelly denied so many times a place.
Well, your team beat them, didn't they?
Well, that wasn't our fault. That was
99.
That's a referee's fault, I think, or Carl Pratt, one of the two. But we actually beat them.
Gary Casey.
Yeah, Francis Stevenson. The other Gary Pratt.
I tell you what, though, before the game yesterday, I just felt as though Featherstone, they've got that purpose, they've got that desire, they've got that team spirit. I just felt as though Toulouse, after the disappointment against Toronto, that they might have just a little bit too much quality from there. But I tell you what, after 5 minutes, I thought to myself, no chance this Toulouse outfit. And what's that Jonathan Ford? And if I was coaching him, I would give him the nickname Deck Chair, because he's that laid back. It's untrue. Honestly, I'd be like, hey, Deck Chair, what are you doing? Just try and stand up a little bit, show a bit of purpose.
Take the line on a bit.
Show a bit of desire. And that tackle, or so-called attempted tackle on Aston Golding, well, let me just tell you this. My grandson, Ruben's free on Sunday, and he would have made a better effort than that. It was absolutely pathetic. But as I say, I'd give him the nickname Deck Chair because he's just so... but that performance from Toulouse was exactly the same. But I'm taking nothing away from Featherstone. They were simply outstanding, but the attitude and purpose from for them Toulouse players to say what a game it was, and the game could be maybe 80 minutes away from the grand final, but they're not because Featherstone quite simply outsmarted them, out-infused them, played with that desire, played with that purpose, and when the moments came along where the opportunities from there were brilliant. We mentioned Cal McClelland earlier, good kicking game, but then the main man coming up with the right calls in dangers, and the 2 kicks he put through. I tell you what, Johnny Davis, what sort of player is Johnny? When you talk about somebody who put his body on the line week in and week out, I loved him when I watched him down at Cast there a few years ago. But yeah, the purpose got there. But as we say about Cardiff from there, and all them players again, the players as individuals know the jobs and know the roles, and then that as a team comes collectively. Nobody tries to stand on somebody else's shoes to say, move out of the way, let me do this, let me be Billy Big Crystals. They're a good team, got a good side. One thing for sure, what Toronto won't be doing on, is it Saturday or Sunday the play?
Saturday night.
On Saturday night, they won't be disrespecting Featherstone, because one thing for sure, what Featherstone will not be lacking, that will be desire, purpose, enthusiasm. Because listen, they can create history, just like Salford can do the night before on the Friday. They can create history for this great club. We know from where they're coming, we know the great history of Featherstone, and Mark Campbell's done a great job at Featherstone Rovers from there, where 80 minutes away from the big stage. I think it's a great story.
I think the other thing that I really like about the Featherstone story at the moment, it goes back a little bit to what we were talking about with Salford showing respect. Featherstone could have complained about the route that they've had. You know, they didn't get back till late today. They've got to get on a plane on Thursday.
Yeah.
They're relishing it.
Absolutely.
They're just saying, no.
They're on this journey, Phil.
We're enjoying this shit. Don't tell us that we're disadvantaged in any way.
Exactly.
We're playing the underdog card, but we're loving this.
Yeah, well,
send us wherever you want. Send us to Afghanistan if you want. We'll go.
Exactly.
We'll play.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely relishing this togetherness that
they're on this journey.
Summed up by James Lockwood, I think, who is the most underrated player in there. But
Young Harrison played well as well. Carl Harrison played well.
He's made a big impact off the bench, but he had to start this time. Still made the same impact.
Hey, do you know what as well? And I thought to myself, what's he got the Leeds for? But Wellington Albert, he made an impact as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
but everybody knows the role, as we mentioned there, Phil. They're enjoying this journey, and I would imagine, because at the part-time out of the Featherstone, I would imagine all the lads who are working, the bosses will be saying, I don't want to see you Tuesday, I don't want to see you Wednesday, I know you're going to Toronto Thursday. Enjoy from there. I would imagine now, you know, like I keep saying, well, players can't be involved because, like the Catalans players, they're on the King Edwards and they've got the factor 6 on. Well, I'll tell you what, the Featherstone players, they're on the King Edwards, they're ready for the factor 6, and they're ready for a quality game of rugby league on Saturday night.
And they have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
So it's a free
brilliant,
hit.
sensation.
It's a great story, but I do think the way they've approached it, every week they've just said, let's go on with it.
You know what that is, Phil? Because there's no pressure on them.
Yeah.
No
but
pressure.
also I think the coaching staff have been brilliant.
They're just
that's where Ryan Carr again.
Man management.
We're going to enjoy all this.
Correct.
We're going to have a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we can do.
Man management and doing things with a smile on your face.
And they've got
brilliant.
They've got a great hooker in Connor Jones, who Cameron King has been one of the players of the championship. He's not fit at the moment. Yeah. Might be this week, but to then go out and get a replacement as good as that Salford have already snapped up. It just shows again that somebody's doing the work behind
I know we'll do the predictions, but can it be done? Can it be done?
The fact is,
can it be done?
We're already not ruling out the possibility.
Absolutely. Well, I sent Sandy a message today, the big Toronto fan. Hi Sandy, you all right, darling? And one thing for sure, Featherstone are coming for you. Featherstone are coming for you, Sandy.
As I've said before, where we used
not for her. But,
well, we know. You're Toronto, yes. You're Toronto mob.
Where we used to work above the sandwich shop, there was a picture of our dear leader, Mr. Bates, under which it said it can be done.
Absolutely, it can be done.
It wasn't until he pulled the money
It can be. It can be done.
What kind of relationship does Gary Hetherington and Brian McDermott have these days? Also, Ken?
No.
Well, so that's the Leeds team all in then this week. Jack Walker can come up. You know, Luke
could Featherstone use any more Leeds players? No.
You've got to be registered before the playoffs.
Yeah, Harry Newman's played. Can he play? He played for Featherstone a few times this year. Can he play?
We didn't play for them so much this year, did we?
Right, I don't know. I just
no, I think the players are registered.
Hey, but listen, Wolfie for sure.
They don't need to
exactly.
Featherstone have to keep it
correct.
as much.
Featherstone don't need anybody else. They don't need anybody else.
They've got a really good balance of So experience and people that understand what it means to that community.
Absolutely.
And some quality that they brought in.
Is there many of the flat cappers going over? Have they doing ours? Any on social media?
It costs
Plenty
a
of books.
fortune.
Yeah, it will cost a
sure,
fortune, won't it? You know.
I'm sure they'll try.
There'll be some. There will definitely be some. And the one thing we can say is they'll be very well looked after. But the one thing that Toronto most certainly do is that if you go as an away fan, all of the people I've spoken to that have come back, whether it's been with Swinton or Barrow, or they've all said we've had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
I think as has been pointed out, and some people within our sport play the poor, downtrodden, working class northern card too much because, as Gav Wilson pointed out earlier from York, how many times a season do Liverpool, Man United, Man City, whatever, play away in Europe, flights to, and we're not talking about.
And you don't know who you're playing until a couple of weeks before, so you could be going anywhere.
And we're talking about not to Toronto, which is a major international city, you're going to Azerbaijan or whatever. You know. Yes, things are expensive, but you don't have to go to everything.
You make choices. And
I'll tell you what,
they're on a journey.
Yeah.
And it's on the telly.
You'll be sacrificing something else, but your choice may be to go to Toronto.
Absolutely.
Weekend, and you won't regret it if you do.
And if they win Featherstone, I tell you, the facility what they've got down there, it's certainly better than Wakefield. It's certainly better than Cass. You know, again, great credit to Matt Campbell. You know, for how he's got that club where
and
it is.
they've got developable land around.
Oh,
it as well. So if they needed to even
the hospitality place there is good, and I know the bar upstairs where they made the Hall of Fame bar is very, very smart. I tell you what, Featherstone are ready for Super League. Featherstone are ready for Super League 2020.
Very Super League ready for Featherstone? That's the question.
I really enjoy looking at all the old stuff in the. So I went upstairs and I look at all the old bits and pieces in the bar. It's very nice.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Well, the other thing is that they would take the share of the monies on offer. So they get £2 million to build a squad. So you'd imagine there'd be some maybe Hull KR London players, some players they might have on dual regimes at the time, full time. Whereas Toronto aren't taking any money. So it's a very different dynamic. So I think if Toronto win, they will go big in the market. I think
they have to do.
But they will. I don't think expense will be spared. I think they've already got some people lined up who are going to go, oh, okay.
Sam Burgess won.
Well, they would have done, but it's coming to Leeds now.
But
they're looking at some big rugby union names. They're trying to get the best they can for the money that they would invest.
So they're buying a side, aren't they, really, then? Not buying.
But they've always done that. You can only have two marquee players, but they will spend, Ashton Sims is retiring, they'll get a big name to replace him. So they will spend and they'll add some profile to Super League if they get in. Featherstone will be something really different, I think. It'll be a bit like the story of London this year. Can they get a band of people together that maybe other clubs perhaps didn't want as first choice? Can they get a coach in who can mould them around the same way that Danny Ward did? And can they upset enough people during the season to stay up?
Well, the fact of the matter
and
is...
they could.
And you mentioned it a few times this year, Phil. Yeah. Toronto brought in a coach who knows what press is all about. He'll be taking this week. He'll be taking the pressure off the players. We all know how Macca works from there. But when them players go on that field, it's all about them. It's all about them for 80 minutes. It's all about can they handle that pressure? Because
can they execute the game
plan?
The
flat cappers, they will be getting ripped in. They will be making sure that they will put them under a hell of a lot of pressure. Can't wait for that game too.
And the great thing is, we genuinely don't know.
We'll
give a prediction.
Yeah.
I don't know if Salford are going to beat Wigan. I don't know if Featherstone are going to beat Toronto.